Yeah, that's good shit. Okay, well, it says it's going live. So if Javier, if you could do your thing and check and make sure that we are broadcasting.
I'm watching it now, and it's still showing. It's not
there's going to be
yet.
There's going to be a delay. Okay. Keep looking. Give it another 15 seconds. In the meantime, here's what we're going to do tonight. Got 6 of us. Yes. Holy crap. I can't believe it. Okay, so, all right, there's 4 of us here. We got Frustrated Atheist is going to show up late. I don't know where Tobin Templeman is. I sent him the link, so if he comes in tonight, well, the first thing was to test the equipment. Seems like it's doing pretty good. This is the first time Atheist Edge has hosted a live event in 2.5, maybe close to 3 years. So since Google Hangouts, if you remember that. Yeah. So this was a huge
probably when I was down there, huh?
You know what? I bet it was right around that time. You came to the house once for a debate on with those apologists on the Book of Daniel or something, the prophecies or.
Yeah, I came by a couple of times. I think the one that I'm thinking about was with Brady Blevins.
Yep, that was the one. Okay, so tonight, so it looks like it's doing good. We'll see if there's any tech issues. We're gonna play a little game and see how this goes. It's kind of like the working title is Stump the Chump. So what we're gonna do is you all be thinking about, I don't know, 4 or 5 subjects, like broad subjects that you are pretty skilled at, know a lot about, right? And then the rest of us, for instance, if I were to say oceanography, I know a lot about oceanography. I don't really, but let's say I do. One of you might ask me, what's the deepest point in the ocean? You know, whatever, Challenger Deep, the Mariana Trench, I think it is, right? I don't know. But yeah, you try to stump the person who thinks they're an expert at it. And if none of us know it, maybe someone in the live chat knows about it. If not, we'll Google it, we'll check it. So we're just going to play that. It's very open-ended. It's really casual. I got my energy drink infused with some stuff that I bought in Colorado. Wink, Lord. Wink. And so
I brought this to the party.
I hope it's some good stuff in there.
Oh,
I got strawberry lemonade. Is it a vape? I'm feeling kind of left out here.
Jim just froze up. You guys see that? Oh, there he goes. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's tangerine cookies.
Nice.
Tangerine cookies?
Yeah, it's good stuff. I think it's a cross between like Agent Orange and Girl Scout cookies.
Oh my gosh. Hey, who else just joined?
Good evening.
Tobin and Kendra.
Tobin.
All right.
Welcome.
Well, we're almost all here. Frustrated is running late. Okay, let's get started. We'll start with Heather. You're first on my list. So give us something. Tell us a topic that you know quite a bit about. We'll hit you with some questions.
Okay, legal service.
Is it legal service?
Yes, as in legal civil process.
I want to take my own notes because I don't trust Jim's.
So does that include like the law in general or just like?
No, let's say, okay, if you were going to file a case with somebody, against somebody, divorce, or if you were going to do an adoption or whatever, you go to a lawyer and you file your information with the attorney. The attorney then is going to take that and they're going to go to the court and get a citation and petition drawn up, because whoever you're suing has the right to know that they're being sued. And you would be amazed at how many people I have served divorce papers on that the spouse does not know that it's coming. I'm like, really? Y'all live in the same house?
It's a good side hustle for people.
Yeah,
it is. I've been doing it for 12 years. Yeah. So
I'm a notary. I've done the servant, all that stuff.
You're what?
I'm a notary. I've done the servant, all that stuff. I
I'm
don't really care to anymore because it's always bitter. Like it's always bad blood. They're always mad about it.
I've only had one belligerent dude, and he was just being pissy because I wouldn't give him the papers, and I wouldn't tell him what they were about. They were to be served on his wife. And so he stepped up to me in my space, and I just looked at him and laughed and rolled my eyes and went and got back in my car. It's like, whatever. What?
I got a question.
All right.
In a state that concealed firearm carry is not legal, as a server, a process server, I guess it's called. Yeah. Is there special entitlements? Can you pack heat in any state?
I only know about the state of Texas because I'm only certified in the state of Texas. But even though concealed handguns are permissible in the state of Texas, the rule for process servers is this. If you do not know the person that you are going to serve, then that person does not have a reasonable expectation that you would have a concealed handgun. So therefore, you cannot be on their property with concealed or an open carry. Now, I keep the gun in my vehicle, but I am not it's not allowable to walk it on my person out of their vision or even with it because they don't know me.
Right. It's not justified.
Correct.
Let me get a sound check on Tobin. I haven't heard him speak yet. Kendra, Tobin, can you all say something real quick?
Yeah. Hello.
Oh, there. Oh,
How y'all
we're
doing?
good. Okay. Good, man. Any other questions for Heather? We're basically trying to stump her, but this is, man.
We're
I
trying to
think
stump
she's
her
got
now.
the-
I've got one.
We're trying to
Texas
stump her
rule.
now.
Oh, I thought we were
Texas
getting
rule
like
to
the
stump
topics
y'all.
first and then doing it. Okay.
No. I tried to stump her with the handgun question. Maybe she didn't know about that. You can ask her a question that you don't know the answer to. Just the goal is to try to ask them something that they might not know about their own subject.
Are there any legal things that you can do, like certain like extraneous measures that you're allowed to take that normal civilian isn't, like trespassing, things like that?
Well, if in the state of Texas, if they've got a no trespassing sign like on their gate, because in the county that I live in, there's a lot of open land and ranches and stuff, and so if they have a no trespassing sign on their gate, I don't go through those gates. If those gates are closed, I do not open gates because in Texas you will be shot. Now,
It's like you're from the part of Texas I am.
where are you at?
Well, I'm in Oklahoma right now, but I grew up in West Texas.
Okay, so I'm in Ellis County, so I'm in south of Dallas.
Yeah.
So if there is a purple fence post, now this goes back to Civil War, that is considered a sign of private property. Now, if the gate's open or they don't have a gate, all bets are off. I'm coming on your property. Now, if you've got closed gates, I push that limit and I will sit on the other side of that gate in my vehicle, honking my horn rhythmically with long pauses because I'm going to get you to come out or one of your neighbors to call you and say, "What is that? Go stop that." I can kind of bear on the line of a private investigator, which I am not. And in Texas, they are licensed. I will hang out at somebody's house, down the street, across the street, in my vehicle with binoculars to try to find
Heather, there's a
somebody.
question for you. Can you see it
Oh,
below?
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tobin and Kendra.
No, there's a question. Jen with one in asked, what's the farthest you've had to travel in Texas to serve papers? And what's the most ridiculous reason that you've had to serve papers on someone?
The furthest that I've traveled, I would say 3 hours. It was on the far side of Waco. That has to be tempered with the fee that I charge. And the craziest thing that I've served papers on. Oh, a lady was trying to get custody of her children, and the papers included her drunken disorderly conduct.
Yeah, I charge people anytime I had to get on the I-45.
What's the
Oh,
process?
All right. Final.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, I'll just
Go
ask,
ahead.
what is the bare minimum? Like, what is the bare minimum requirement in order for somebody to be considered served? Like, does the paper have to be in their hands?
The bare minimum requirement is that they acknowledge their name. I will call you by your name on the paper. Or, Sally Sue Smith.
A government
And they
name.
say yes, and I'm going to hand them the papers. Now, if they don't want to take the papers because they think that's an option, they've already acknowledged to me that they are who they are, and I'll drop them at their feet. That is considered
that's
legal
served?
serve. Yes.
What's the procedure if you try to serve papers and you find out that the person who's supposed to live there doesn't live there anymore, somebody else lives there?
I typically try to get from them either their name or how long they've lived there, because people do move it, and a lot of this is in houses. And I go back to the attorney, and that's the great part. I mean, there's sometimes I've gone to 4 and 5 addresses chasing a person, but that bill starts over again with every address. So
You're like a professional ex-girlfriend.
Yes. I'm tracking you down. Yeah.
Does anybody ever try to attempt to bribe you or anything like that?
No, I've not come across that. I think, I've had a couple of people really be evasive with me and make it difficult for me to get them served. But at the end of the day, what people truly don't think about, they're too caught up in the emotional part of whatever is going on in their life, is that it is your right to be served with these papers. If somebody is suing you, why would you not want the documents that tells you why they're suing you? It's
still gonna
your
happen.
right to show up in court and fight that case.
Can somebody accept papers on behalf of someone else?
No, sir. No, sir. I have to put them in the hands or at the feet of the person that is the respondent. Yes, go ahead.
Oh, go. Sorry, Heather. Finish up.
I can't serve papers to a husband for the wife or vice versa. No, that has to be to the person that's named. And sometimes it's just named a business, and you serve the papers to a principal of that business, and it's a good serve.
To keep this rolling, because I want each of us to speak on more than one topic. So we're gonna roll through it. So we'll shorten it to a maximum 5 questions. So Javier, you tell us your topic, and we all collectively can ask you up to 5 questions on it. We'll just do it that way, so we keep it moving forward.
Okay, I'm gonna choose the topic trucking.
Oh shit! Okay, everyone, think of a good one, guys.
How many gears are in a standard 4 1/4 Caterpillar engine?
10.
Is that right? I don't even know.
Well, what do you say?
10.
He said 10.
10 or 13. Yeah, it just depends on the transmission. I was trying to throw you off, but my dad drove trucks.
What is the minimum height grade? Like I was just in the mountain states and I saw these signs for like something % grade, and for the truckers to use their, what is it? The hydraulic, the power braking. What's the minimum grade? I don't even know how to phrase the question. When you're going down a steep hill, what are the procedures for braking or slowing down?
Well, when you're going down a steep hill, it varies depending on the actual hill when they tell you. Most states require that you have engine brake on, which allows the actual engine to brake itself in case you start to free fall. But as far as the requirements of the height or whatever, I'm not sure if there is a particular height that the trailer has to be. Yeah.
Do you see the question from B there below?
How many feet away from the rear of the truck do you put the cones when you break down around the corner? Okay, you're supposed to have 3 cones, and one cone has to be within 5 feet. The other cone has to be within 10 feet, and the other one, I believe, 20 feet.
Oh, nice.
Tell ex-trucker he's in trouble.
Okay, so what is the worst case scenario as a passenger vehicle on like Interstate 35 in Dallas? It's a very heavily traveled interstate, so is I-20 for trucking. So what is the one piece of advice that you would give passenger vehicles to help you stay safe and them stay safe on the road?
Stay out of truckers' blind side if you can help it. That's usually in the rear of the trailer. The trucker really can't see that close, like to the corner of their trailer. It's a blind spot, and a lot of truckers will try to merge over into the lane, and they may not see you there. So try not to ride the tail of a semi truck in the passenger lane, because that's very dangerous. That's what I would highly recommend.
Are there standards for the heights of bridges across the U.S. for the general trucking industry?
I don't believe so. Every state has different standards.
Wow.
What does this mean if you see a little kid doing this?
Honk the horn. Yeah, actually,
What if you see a grown man doing that? It means he lives in his mom's basement still.
it's actually illegal to use your air horn inside of a city. So if you actually see a kid or somebody asking you to honk your horn in the city, you're not supposed to. A lot of truck drivers might, but you're not. It's actually illegal. You're supposed to use your city horn. So it's 2 horns in each truck.
Really? So if you have a blowout on a tire, how many tires are you required to roll with? How many tires are on a semi? First question.
It's 18 on the typical. There are semis who actually have more than that, 24. It just depends on what you're hauling, but the average is 18. That's why they call them 18 wheelers. But also, like if you blow a tire or something like that, it's illegal to ride with a flat tire anywhere. You're supposed to actually pull over and get it fixed and taken care of. Now, there are people who will ride with a flat tire on the inside of a truck, but that is, if they get caught, they're definitely going to get fined.
I know if you're bobtail, you can take off an outer dual and ride with just the inner one. If you're unloaded, if you're bobtailed.
Not sure on that one. That's a stump.
Was that 5? I'm thinking that was at least 5.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Kendra, you're up. What's your topic?
I've been like stumped on this. I've been thinking about it all day and I can't come up with anything. So I was going to say the restaurant industry because that's what I work in.
Okay.
What's the best way to get back at an awful customer without stepping over a legal boundary?
That's tough because I'm really nice. So I just try to kill people with kindness whenever they're getting ugly with me and stuff like that. When it gets really bad, I mean, the best I can do is just, try to make them happy as the best I can, and if not, then just quietly walk away. But most of the time, it's kind of like my goal. Like when somebody comes in and I can tell that they're in a bad mood, I'm hoping by the end of them being in there, I can at least put a smile on their face. Sometimes I think people might be too quick to judge. Maybe somebody's in a bad mood because they're hungry. Some people get hangry, you know what I mean? And by the time I can like get them, something to eat and get them taken care of, they're usually, most people are pretty cool. If not, then I just try to make them happy and then quietly walk away.
Is there a standard procedure? Oh, okay.
Oh, go ahead, Javier.
Is there a standard procedure if like you serve alcohol to somebody at a restaurant and there are other people at the table who have not been carded and you see them drinking alcohol from the person who ordered alcohol? Is there like a standard procedure or something you're supposed to do after that?
Yeah, that's not acceptable. Like everybody that's drinking has to be ID'd. I've actually had people do that at my table before. There was somebody that was legally allowed to drink at the table. It was a bunch of friends, but the other people weren't, allowed to be drinking. And they thought that I wasn't paying attention, which I was. And I caught them drinking and, let them know and alerted the management and stuff like that and said that that wasn't acceptable. And I wasn't going to be, getting in trouble for it either, you know, because it's a big deal, because it can come down not on just the server, but your bartender as well and everybody else, you know. Yeah, I'm not cool with that at all. Like, if anybody's drinking, I'm definitely going to check your ID, and if not, you're not drinking. And at that point, if they don't want to listen, then they can leave, you know.
Kendra, what year did it become legal to not pay servers minimum wage and instead supplement it with tipping?
Great question.
Ooh.
See, I'm trying to think of
That's a good
stumpers.
question. Shit,
What kind of garbage is that, anyways?
Yeah, he's trying to
I
really
think you
stump
stumped
you.
me. I don't know.
Maybe someone in the live chat Google that shit, and I'll put it up here. I'm
I
thinking
was
it had
starting
to
to
be
think of a show called
the 50s.
man, what was that guy's name? He would show like oh man, I'm
Hartley
drawing a
Glitter.
complete blank. I just lost my thought.
Oh, there's one in
There
the
was a
live
guy
chat.
who explained that
go ahead.
explained that before.
Jen with one N. Do you see the question she had? Who pays if a meal is comped? I'm not sure I understand that question.
If the
The
meal is
restaurant's just
comped,
used
like
the
the restaurant's paying for it at that point. Like, my boss would be paying for it when he takes it off. Whatever food is, you know, if it's comped off and has to be thrown away or anything like that, that's going to go back on the owner. It's because he's the one that's paying for it.
What is the minimum wage for servers? I think last time I was in that industry, I think it was $2.20 an hour.
I want to say like
Pretty low.
$2.13 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I know when I was living in
Crazy.
Florida, that's in Texas, but in Florida, I got paid more an hour plus my tips, but I think it was like $4 something an hour. I can't remember, but I know here it's not very much. It's like $2.13.
It was Adam's Ruins Everything. Adam Ruins Everything. Explain what that question that you're asking, Jim. Like when that
tipping.
got started.
yeah. That's a good show.
1938, it was codified in the United States, and 1966 once again. So after, I guess it was, yeah.
So before
Good
that,
job.
they earned minimum wage, I guess.
I looked it up. Google helped me. So
So was
Wow.
Minimum wage. Wasn't minimum wage itself adopted like around the FDR, like it was part of the Social Security and the New Deal? I'm guessing. I don't know.
So was gratuity just not a concept before that, or what?
1938 minimum wage.
Yeah, I lived in Germany, and if you tip over 5%, they give you like it's kind of like you thumb your nose at them. In fact, they take it personally.
Pushing
Yeah.
anywhere in Europe, they look at you weird.
Yeah,
I think
if you
Japan
don't
is
tip
like
at all,
that as
it's
well.
no problem.
Yeah, I think in Japan they won't even accept tips. They'll feel insulted and they'll give you your money back.
It's because they actually get paid a
wow.
living wage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's switch over to Tobin. What's your topic?
Basic music fundamentals.
Basic music.
Basic music fundamentals.
Ooh,
I got what chords are in
I got one.
the key of G?
What's that?
What chords are used in the key of G? Just give me a couple
What
that you
chords?
use. Yeah.
There are many patterns that can be used in the key of G.
Give me like one little 3-chord progression.
A 3-chord progression?
Yeah, in the key of G.
A 3-chord progression in the key of G? I could go
Like what
from
notes?
G
Or
to... I could go A to G to...
I'm thinking the same thing like frets. I'm like,
because I play around with these patterns, and to me, it's like I could use A, G, and D, and I could make a 3-chord progression out of that. But I could
I like
make
G, D, and
many
C.
patterns. I could make many patterns and have G as my root note, the key.
Right.
What?
I can't ask all these. Jen with one in is just shotgun blast to the face with questions. So I'm just going to choose a few. Oh, I've got one first. What is the name?
Oh my
what's
goodness!
that word?
She is throwing it out there.
Yeah. What is the word for, let's say you're playing a chord as like like as it appears in, like if you were to plug it into a computer program and play it, and it sounds a little off, and you have to bend, you have to like flatten one of the, because a perfect chord causes something, it's not pleasant to our ears. You have to flatten one of them. What's that? When a chord is played not correct and
Dissonant.
it feels like the wavelength. Okay, that's the word, dissonance. Yeah. All right. Jen asked, "What's the devil's chord?"
Oh man, I've learned about that too. The Black Sabbath guitar player was very popular for using that, but I can't say it. You got me stumped on that one.
Ooh.
What is it, like G6 or something?
What's a key signature?
The key signature,
Mhm.
it's the key to me is the lowest root note to your piece, to your progression.
These are hard.
He picked
Any others? All right, we'll move to Jim. What's your? It's going to be New Testament scholarship, I bet.
No, we'll go Book of Daniel. That's my specialty.
Oh, Jesus. What's the verse in the Book of Daniel that is most spouted by apologists to prove that prophecies are real and people really could see into the future?
Oh, they'd probably use something like Daniel 9:24 through 9:27, the prophecy of the 70 weeks. Or they may use like something like 12:1 and 12:2, the reference to resurrection. There's really a lot, because pretty much most of the Book of Daniel is prophetic, like all of chapter 11, for example, is all future events.
Quote Daniel chapter 7, verse 13.
Good one, Javier.
I'm drawing a blank and I don't know why. Is it something to do with Belshazzar's third year, maybe?
You want me to read it to you?
Yeah.
It says, in the vision at night I looked, and there before me was one like a son of man, coming with the clouds of
Oh,
heaven.
man. Yeah.
He approached the Ancient of Days and was led into his presence.
Right. It's actually a reference to another Ugaritic text, an older text in Canaanite religion, that's Baal was the rider of the clouds, and he would present himself to El.
That dude Baal was a badass.
Yeah, like was it Goku? Is that the one who rides the cloud?
Think so. Yeah, Goku. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That sounds like something out of
prophecies-
anime.
It is.
of the prophecies that are documented in Daniel and in Revelation, what is the gap, the number of prophecies out of Daniel that are not in Revelation?
There's a lot because so they're both apocalypses. You know, they're and they both use similar imagery. Of course, Revelation borrows heavily from Daniel. So there are actually a lot in Revelation. Most of them are not in Daniel, but it's a reinterpretation, a reimagining of the apocalypse, of the apocalyptic language, because it's so vague, and it's easily applicable to many different situations. And during the time of Roman persecution that Revelation was written in, they were going through the similar issues that the second century compiler of the Book of Daniel was going through under Antiochus Epiphanes.
Yep. Revelation is a difficult chapter just because of the imagery. It's difficult to understand, but the prophecies that are done in Daniel, because those two chapters are usually studied side by side.
Sure.
And I've never aligned them to say, in Daniel, these are the prophecies, total number. And in Revelation, does it answer all of those prophecies in
Mm-mm.
Daniel, or vice versa. To
No,
look at the gap.
Revelation actually takes Daniel's prophecies out of context, much in the same way that Daniel does with Jeremiah. So the author of Revelation is taking this text, Daniel, and is applying it to inspire hope and to show that there's a light at the end of the tunnel for his fellow Jews, because they've been promised this whole time, just a little while longer and you'll be restored. The temple will be restored. Israel will be restored and reunited, and you won't have to live under an oppressive ruler or a foreign ruler. Yet they had up until that point, and well, a short period during the Hasmonean period that they actually had some self-rule, but for the majority of their existence, they lived under the shadow of a foreign ruler.
I don't know if it's Daniel or Hosea, but which prophecy is it that what's that main one that Jesus being born in Bethlehem? It's in one of those two. You tell me, huh?
Are you referring to the "Out of Egypt I called my son"?
Yes. Is that Hosea or Daniel?
That's Hosea.
Okay.
As far as Daniel goes, it wasn't really. It doesn't seem like Jesus saw it as prophetic, because he doesn't really mention it that much. And whenever he does, he mentions it as if it's not referring to him. Whereas modern Christians will interpret it as if it's about him. But it seems like the author of the Gospels didn't really, the prophecies in Daniel, or the prophecies in Daniel, just weren't in the forefront of the mind of the Second Temple Jews.
All right. Oh, we're on me now. I'm going to choose. Man, how many times have we stumped someone so far? We got Kendra once and we got Jim once, didn't we?
Yep.
All right. Let's see. I'll choose him. How about Patriot Act, electronic surveillance?
Who was president when the Patriot Act? Oh, go ahead.
Bill Clinton. Right? Am I right? Someone fact check that. I think it was Bill Clinton. Oh, no, wait. Patriot Act was, no, it had to be Bush Jr. because it was after 9/11. Yeah. Yep, it was Bush Jr. Yeah, Patriot Act. Yeah, that's right.
It's
George W. What else?
What part of the Patriot Act is Bill Belichick responsible for?
Is this a trick question? Isn't he some sports dudes? He's some sports dude, right?
Yeah, he's the head coach of the Patriots.
Thank you.
Oh, it was a tricky question. All right. I'm surprised no one's asked, can they really spy on our cell phones?
Duh.
Well,
it's not can, but it should.
We're trying to stump you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, true.
As far as government states, which government state is the worst at invading privacy in that manner?
Oh, the first one that comes to my mind is China. I don't know. There's probably more authoritarian ones than that, but my brother lived there for 6 years, and he told me, I didn't even learn this. I was with the NSA for 9 years. Oh, sorry, guys. Hold up. Yeah, so my brother tells me about all the restricted access there is, very limited access on the World Wide Web. They have an intranet, and they have their own, instant messengers. They have their, their all internal stuff. But as far as reaching out to the bigger world, you can, but it's highly limited. So it's not just internet regulations. It's pretty much it. If you want to start your own business, you can't just go apply for it. There's a huge process, and every aspect of life is kind of nailed down. So I would say China.
From what I understand, if you've just been caught on CCTV in China, you've already been cataloged in their system.
Oh yeah, and the thing about China is you have a Is it China? Might fact check me in the live chat. It might not be China. It may be Singapore, but a lot of these countries are. It's this long. It looks like a social security number, but you can tell it to anyone, and they can't do anything with it. But it's everything. All you got to do is put this number in, and it's also your code. You can use it to pay for stuff, and once you're right, Jim. Once facial recognition, once it's got you once in the system, it doesn't need you again. Like you can go to the airport, they don't need to look at your passport. They've already, by the time it took you to get up to first in line, they've already identified who you are. They'll just wave you through. They don't. Yeah,
It's the mark of the beast.
It'll tell them if your passport is up to date, even everything.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and they do like facial mapping. Like it's not just a picture. Like they know the depth. They know how far apart your cheekbones are. Like
Oh wow.
it's crazy.
Well, who was the famous NSA analyst who went on the run after exposing that the government was spying on us?
Oh, Edward Snowden. You want to know my opinion on that traitorous
The guy in the
coward?
blizzard.
Yeah, he was a traitor, and so Chelsea Manning not so much, but still she was a traitor. We have secrets for a reason. Everyone has secrets. The fact that the NSA collects metadata on each and every one of us, that's metadata. It's not prosecutable. They can't act on it. When I was working with them, we would. I'm getting to some gray area, confidentiality and classifications. But when we're monitoring enemy communications, if we get a U.S. person on there and we can identify either of the two parties as U.S. person, that recording stops and it gets deleted. There's a thing called UCIT 18, or now it's SPU 18. It's a long, and when you're involved in this, I mean, you go through classes, continuing education classes, monthly. To make sure you're aware of the UCIT 18 regulations and what you can and can't copy and collect and store on U.S. persons. So,
I got a question.
Does the government? Okay, I'll stop there.
Yeah, about that metadata. Yes, it might be illegal to actually keep it, but how are the American people supposed to trust that the people who are operating these systems are as trustworthy and won't keep that data? Like, what safeguards are actually put in place besides it being illegal and training?
Checks and balances.
Well, huge punishments, and there's a very robust reporting system, like an internal whistleblower. So if you see, for instance, when I was stationed in Guantanamo Bay, we were copying. Let's just say, well, you can guess which country we were copying on. All right, and so one of my buddies, my colleagues, sat right next to me. His wife, he suspected his wife of cheating on him. Guess what he did? He went on a targeted mission off the books. Well, he confirmed and she was cheating on him, but the fact that the way in which he got that information from work, and now he's still doing time at Fort Leavenworth, Kansas, and this was 1993, and he's still at Fort Leavenworth busting rocks.
Would you call him a traitor? Because that's essentially what Snowden did, was just whistleblow.
Absolutely. Yep, absolutely. He didn't broadcast it to the world, but
there's a thin line between whistleblower and traitor.
Yeah, the thing, the U.S. is not capturing your metadata because it wants to. It's because it has to. The methods by which we collect enemy communication, just in that process, it hoovers up all signals in an area, right? There's going to be U.S. in there. If they passed a law saying you can't collect U.S. metadata, we would lose our entire electronic surveillance, electronic intelligence against every terrorist organization on Earth.
Define metadata. What is it?
The MSISDN, the IMSI, and the TIMSI. Those are the three main ones. The MSISDN is it's just your phone number basically. So the running joke is the surveillance, the tech geek that in a bar, he's trying to pick up a girl and he asks her for an MSISDN. And then IMSI and TIMSI are different signatures. Your IMSI is actually on the back of your phone. It's a serial number on the back of your phone. That never changes. The TIMSI changes every time you connect to a BTS, a cell phone tower. Yeah, that's it. We've talked too much about this one. Any others? I'm going to move on.
Yeah. All right, go ahead, move on. I had one, but go ahead.
Oh, all right. Heather, another topic.
The only other thing I know a lot about is project management and information technology project management. I mean, that's what I did for 25 years.
Define that.
Project management is a methodology that is used to manage corporate contracts. So if and one corporation is going to, so I used to work for NCR Corporation, and when I worked there within this one particular group is when kiosk had just hit the market. And so we worked with hotels, and first customers were cell phone customers. So back in that day, everybody went to the cell phone store and paid their bill, and they're cashless people. It would be lined up around the corner. Well, we had developed a software that would allow you to go to a kiosk and put in your phone number, and you could pay your bill with a debit card or a credit card or feed cash into it. So we would write a contract with that customer to deliver what they wanted, to do the fabrication of the kiosk, to put the AT&T logos on it, to modify the software to fit their systems, to do the interface to the back end of their systems. And a project manager is the one that puts out that contract together, working with the technical team because they have feed into it. And it's my job to get that contract executed and delivered to the milestones, do the billing, and deliver the final product, and the customer sign off on it. So it's a methodology that's used to do that.
When you are about to launch something and like you say, like you're just beginning the campaign, like the only thing that you have is an idea. What would you say are like the crucial initial steps in project management to see that through to fruition?
Is gathering the requirements and the wants of the client. And they're two different things. The client can say, well, I want the kiosk to be this height, and I want it to look like this. And I want my customers to be able to pay with, debit, credit, and cash. And I want the back end system, obviously, to attach to ours. Well, that's his want. And then you got to take it all the way down to the granular level that says that this field feeds into their back end system, so that data flows and it updates the customer account. I had a very challenging project one time, very large customer. It was Amtrak, and we delivered the first round of software, and it was for the cashiers on board the train, because this was only like 10 years ago and they were still doing everything by paper. And we delivered the first round of software, and it was a back-end office software. So it didn't have all the pretty GUI and all that stuff. It was functional. No, they wanted the pretty GUI, but they never put it in the requirements.
What does GUI stand for, Heather?
It's the user interface. It's what you see when you look at any software that you look at has a GUI. It's the front end interface.
What's the word for? Go ahead, Jim.
I was going to say, how much how much is it your responsibility to be prepared and to foresee difficulties that would arise with things that the customer wants that maybe they just don't think through all the way? Like, is that something that you're responsible for, or does that fall back on the customer for being short-sighted?
Actually, it winds up being a negotiation, because it truly is the fact that they should have seen a presentation at some point through the sales team of what the software looks like, because it existed when the sales team sold it to them. So their expectations at that point should have had a baseline. But still, walking that customer through all of the process of the requirements, and that's part of the consultation job, is they're coming to you as the expert. So you need to guide them through that process. Yes, gather what's required. But if you know something's missing or you have a question, that's why you're doing the consultation. So it can be applied with anything. I mean, getting a new roof on your house is a project. It's just a methodology. It gives you a framework to work within for the checks and balances, to make sure you know what you're getting and you know what you're paying for, and you know the product that they're putting on there and how that's going to work and what they're going to do step by step.
Do you ever have a customer, or have you ever had a customer who had unrealistic expectations?
Oh yeah. Every customer has unrealistic expectations. They're sitting at the table and saying, I wanted this yesterday. And, you know, they think you can have it rolled out in 90 days. And it's like, oh, good Lord, it takes 90 days to get the hardware.
You have some people who just think that they can just throw money at anything and make it happen.
Absolutely. Or throw more resources at it. You know, whether it's money or it's human resources, it doesn't make any difference. It's like everything has a timeline that goes with it. So, yeah. And that's a whole nother delicate balancing act, is to set that expectation realistically and break it down so that they're a happy customer instead of a frustrated customer the whole time, because that's the last thing you want to do, is work with somebody for 6 months who is constantly just strumming their fingers.
Is there a minimum requirement or training or education of somebody who wants to be a project manager?
Oh, yes. Project Management Institute, it has a certification that is well known worldwide. It's a difficult certification. I've had mine since 2003. I took a year's worth of classes. I took a prep class. I studied for 3 weeks, every night, 7 days a week, all day Saturday, all day Sunday. Because I had worked with other people around me that had taken that test and failed it once, twice, and finally got it on the third time. I passed the first time. I was so proud of myself. I never want to take that test again. Ever.
Are you a certified practitioner or just a management person?
No, I am a practitioner. Yes.
So you have your Prince 2 or? You have a Prince 2 or the APMP?
I use Microsoft Project. I've always used Microsoft Project. I've never used anything else. I've got other certifications, but I haven't used them. It's just been a process of getting my CEUs every 2 years to keep my certification.
Right. Stay current.
Yeah.
Heather's good at this game. She knows how to let you forget that you're trying to stump her.
Yes.
She's just going to throw an acronym at us. Just like, here, take that.
Javier, the name's so good we say it twice. He's got his own show on. It's the Javier Show on YouTube. What's your next topic?
I'm gonna go with Satan.
With who?
With Lucifer,
Satan,
the son of the morning.
Oh,
yeah. Jim's gonna.
How is Satan referred to, if you can, in the Hebrew in Job, and how does it differ from Second Temple Judaism's interpretation?
Jeez, I'm stumped.
Let me try, Jim. I think it's Satan or Shatan means the adversary. I don't know the second part of that question.
Right.
And,
So it doesn't have
Javier said it was Lucifer. Javier said it was Lucifer, but actually in the Bible, Lucifer is a misnomer. It's not Satan. It refers specifically to King Nebuchadnezzar II.
Right. Lucifer wasn't something that. Well, actually, Satan was never a person. In fact, the what I was kind of getting at was like the Hebrew in Job just implies that it is a Satan or an adversary or somebody who essentially worked for God on behalf of God, not against him.
Well, what about I believe it's Hebrews chapter 1. I believe it says when he tried to ascend above the throne of God, who the passage that talks about Satan the evil one trying to ascend above the heavens, he tried to put himself above God. Who is that speaking to? Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about the Nephilim, right?
Yeah, I believe so. I might have
Right.
the verse wrong.
If I remember correctly, it was one of the sons of God that rose up against him.
Yo, I'm already stumped. Y'all got me.
No, I got one more if I can remember it. You guys, Tobin. Oh, go ahead.
There's an interaction between Satan and Jesus in Matthew. What's going on in that part?
Stumped again.
I got these burgers, man.
Yeah.
Is that where they had a? Is that where they had a bet to see if Job would still worship God if Satan screwed with him a lot?
Oh, is this?
No,
it
that's
might be
Job. That's in
be
Job.
It was
it
the
might be
temptation in the
interaction
wilderness.
the temptation in the wilderness. He said that if you follow me, I will give you earth, everything on earth. And Jesus was like, that's when Jesus said something about, a man cannot live off bread alone. Yeah, yeah, that's
Right.
what it was. That was the only interaction they had.
The temptation was like, you are Jesus. Like, why don't you just make your own bread?
Yeah, and he said if you jump from this cliff, the angels will save you. So who is that tempting Jesus if not Satan?
Well, so
Hey, Javier. Oh,
Yeah.
go ahead.
I was going to say that's the Christian interpretation, which is heavily influenced by the Second Temple Judaism, which was not only highly Hellenized, but it also encountered influences from Zoroastrianism or from the Persian religion, which is where we get this idea of a duality, good versus evil, angels versus demons, Satan versus God.
Really? That's interesting.
Okay, Javier. What percentage of heaven got kicked out when they rebelled against God?
I believe it was a third of his angels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang it.
And half the weight stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's move to Kendra. Your topic.
I guess I'll do movies. I don't know.
That's a wild topic.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not sure. Everybody's got like really good topics. I just kind of pulled it out of thin air. I don't know.
What's my favorite movie?
Ooh. Yeah.
Man of Steel.
What is your favorite movie?
Magic
Yeah, well,
Mike.
what would you think? Like, just looking at me, just what you know of me, what would you think my favorite movie is? No wrong answer. This is a freebie.
Oh my god, I'm trying to think of what is that? I was gonna say Passion of the Christ for some reason, but I haven't even seen that movie.
Never mind. There is one wrong answer.
Movies, huh?
Who directed the Godfather movies?
Ooh.
Who directed the Godfather films?
Oh, I'm totally gonna lose this game.
She's like, why did I pick movies?
Yeah, honestly, yeah, I'm like, I picked bad subject.
I think I know the answer, but I'm not going to tell her.
Well, yeah, you're my spouse, so yeah, you can go ahead and.
You're going to phone in for a.
That's my phone in.
Yeah. Is it Martin Scorsese?
I thought it was Francis Ford Coppola.
It is. Yeah.
He won many awards for that.
Oh.
I thought it was Quentin Tarantino.
No.
I'm checking my black and white. Oh, Did you read that?
Oh,
I'm so stumped already. I'm like, you don't even have to say.
They
How
happen to
many
be
frames? How many frames per second is a standard motion picture filmed in?
You know, probably.
I don't even know.
Is it 60? What is Steven Spielberg's best movie and why is it Jurassic Park?
It was. I'll totally agree with that. There you go. Yeah, I should have picked a better subject because I feel
All
like
right,
I'm
one
gonna
more
fail.
question. Someone give her one more question, then we'll move.
Why did
How
you
many-
pick movies?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
All right, Tobin.
Atheist personalities in our online community.
Oh.
Who is
Why are
the
there so many dick
strongest?
bags?
Go ahead.
Oh, Heather, you had one?
Yeah, who do you believe is the strongest debater in our atheist community?
Ooh. Wow, there are many good ones.
Mm-hmm.
Passion of the Christ.
Alive or dead?
Very subjective question. I'm sorry.
Do they have to be alive at the moment?
Yeah, I will frame it as they have to be living.
I mean, Matt Dillahunty does all right. I mean, there's T Jump. He debates pretty damn well. There's a bunch of them. There's a long list. J Mike is another guy who is very good at having that conversation or debating.
I've never heard of T Jump, so that's a new name for me.
T Jump is the channel's name's Tom
Oh.
Jump. He specializes in atheist philosophy.
Okay.
All right. So, who were the members of the Four Horsemen?
Ooh.
There's
Good question.
Dennett, and there's Hitchens, Dawkins, and it was Dillahunty, wasn't it not?
Nope.
No, it was like I think Dillian was sick that day or something because they gave it to somebody else.
Sam Harris.
Sam Harris.
Harris. That's right. Right.
When Hitchens died, who took his place as the fourth member of the Apocalypse? I bet you guys don't
You
even
got
know
me
this.
stumped on. Yeah, you got me stumped on that one.
I don't know.
It
Like
was
a cigarette
Ion
butt?
Hersey Ali.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
I think that's
But they haven't
informally. I
toured,
don't
though,
know if
have they?
that's officially.
Hmm.
Have they done
But
anything
I've-
together?
Yeah, that's a good question. With the pandemic, I'm sure not recently. But you mentioned Dillahunty. He's a member of a three-man group called the Unholy Trinity. It's Seth Andrews,
Yep.
Matt Dillahunty, and Aaron Ra. Yeah.
Yeah,
What
I love
else?
y'all groups.
That sounds like a pretty strong group. It sure does.
Hmm.
As the Father, the Son, and the Holy shit.
Which member of the atheist community, content creator, appeared on Tosh.0 on Comedy Central once?
What?
That would be. Oh, what's
You
his
know
name?
what? I don't like Tosh.0, so I wouldn't know. I've never.
She
I don't
had
really
her
watch
whole
that
segment dedicated to her.
Oh.
It's
Sweeney?
Shannon Q. I'm gonna throw it out
Wait,
there.
what was it for? Why was she on Tosh.0?
It was a web redemption. She did something slightly embarrassing or something that caught a lot of flack, and she went on. You know those web redemptions, like someone does something really dumb and they get to make up for it.
Rachel
Beg
Oates?
for forgiveness.
No, it was Bionic Dance.
Oh, that's right.
Hey.
I remember her saying something like that at Faithless Forum.
Yep.
Who
I got a
was
question.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm gonna have to look into this now because I like
Go-
cake.
Yeah, Javier, what was your question?
What actor got into an altercation with Sam Harris on Bill Maher and called him racist for criticizing Islam?
or Shaq?
Which time?
Wow, I'm not sure.
Ben Affleck.
It was
I got
Ben Affleck. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I gotta see that.
Okay, moving to Jim. Your next topic.
Oh, another topic. Shoot. I guess
Another obscure book in the Old Testament.
spelling.
Spelling.
What?
Are these words that I have to be able to spell?
Oh, as long as you say it's right.
I guess where's my? Oh, it's on my phone. Never mind.
Spelling. Are we
What is
asking you to
phonetics?
spell a word?
What's that?
Are we asking you to spell a word, or are we just anything concerning spelling?
Or the rich white people in Hollywood, whichever. I don't.
What is the function of a conjunction?
That's not spelling. That's grammar.
I know, right? I just wanted to say that conjunction.
Oh,
P-R-A-M-M-A-R.
I've always wanted to know this. I've always wanted to know the answer to this. I always spell traveling with 2 L's, and it doesn't say it in the dictionary, but I know for a fact that 20 years ago, or back when I was a kid, back when I was in school, traveling was spelled with 2 damn L's. Is this like what's that, like Shazam, the
Where
Mandela
were
effect,
you at
where
that time?
false memory?
Where
It's
were you at that time?
the Mandela effect.
It's always been 1 L.
Always been 1 L.
Yeah, maybe you just always spelled it wrong.
It's like I can't spell carrot. I have to play with that word. Is
How
it
many?
2 R's, 2 T's?
2 R's.
Yeah. Because when I write it, it's like, oh man, that don't look right. So I always have to play with it.
How many different ways can you spell two?
TWO, TO, TOO, T. Sorry, say TO. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna say 4
You gotta spell the fourth one.
in English. TOOO. O.
Oh, TOH.
Yeah,
You didn't say just
last two
English
O's are
words.
silent.
You didn't say just English. TOH is Japanese for a ninja sword. And Ralph Ellis, in Spanish, TU means you or yours.
Yeah.
There's a lot of learning.
What
today,
else?
Bob.
One more question.
Spell superfragilalisticexpialidocious.
Yes. All right.
SUPERCALIFRAGILEX TICESPIALIDOCIOUS.
Wow.
I don't know if you got it right, but
That's a good try.
If it's not right, it's close.
Okay. Oh, back to me. Man, it's been so long and I've forgotten so much, but I'll go with chess.
Ooh. Who invented chess?
Well, we don't know. The origins are obscure, but we do know it originated in India before it went down the Silk Road, and because Arabic, it's very well known in Arabic, and but it did start in India. And the rooks, the castles, used to be war elephants in India, and the bishops were something else like shaman or something.
Yeah,
That's
now the bishops actually
interesting.
have a small child in front of them.
I don't know that reference.
Oh,
That
no,
sounds
yeah.
gruesome.
What board game is more complicated than chess?
Go has more permutations. That's why it was harder for whatever came after Deep Blue, and it beat that guy 5 games out of 6. The Japanese guy at Go.
Risk. Like, does anybody actually play Risk? Like,
Well, there's more permutations of moves in one game of chess than there are atoms in the universe, and Go is even more than that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
What else?
can you name 3 different chess strategies, chess different in games?
End game? There's really no names for end games. There's only like names for orthodox and unorthodox openings. And there was a time when I had 3,000 of them memorized. That's fucking,
3,000.
yeah. The most standard is the 4 Knights game, or the Karo Khan, or what's the Rui Lopez? Yeah, that's like grade school Rui Lopez, because most people have that memorized 33 moves deep. Like they don't even start thinking about what they're going to do until 33 moves into the game.
That's like the
Some
Rudy and
unorthodox
Paul.
ones, the Mongredine defense. So if you're playing black and you move the pawns in front of your knight, and you I'm sorry, in front of your knight, you fianchetto your bishops. Fianchetto means get your bishops out on the long diagonals. That's the Mongredine defense. There's
What's
the
that word again?
Frankenstein Mongredine, and then there's the Frankenstein pterodactyl defense. There's an English, a Cambridge. Those are really popular. The French defense is maybe one of the most popular. Yeah.
Russian.
I don't know if there's one called the Russian strategy. Queen's Gambit was a damn good movie, though.
No wonder
series.
I never learned to play chess.
Oh, it's chess, surfing, and riding Harley Davidsons. Never, if you don't do any of those three, never pick them up, because they will take up your whole life, and you won't ever stop thinking about anything but that.
Until you actually ride a good motorcycle, and then you'll leave Harleys alone.
Okay, I got to answer this one question, and then we'll move on. I had a buddy do en passant on me, and I literally stopped the game. I went and Googled the official chess rules. Yeah, you guys know what en passant is?
No.
All right, so if you move your pawn, it's pretty close to enemy territory, and then he moves his initial opening. You know how you can move your pawn twice on the opening, right?
Yeah.
So he moves it twice to where it ends up next to that pawn that you just moved. You can pretend he only went one move, and you can go ahead and take it on that empty square, and then take his piece off well, actually, it's not a piece, it's a pawn. Pieces are only the back row. Pawns are not pieces, they're just called pawns. So you can pretend that he only moved one square and just go ahead and take it like you would on that empty square, and then remove his pawn.
I was
It's one
going
of
to
those
ask
weird rules.
I was going to ask you a real quick question. What was the name of the first artificial intelligence to beat a grandmaster at chess?
Deep Blue, 1996, Gary Kasparov. Yeah.
So is this all you think about? I know it's not.
No,
Oh, my
not
goodness.
anymore. It used to take up my whole life, but I kicked the addiction.
Wait,
Good
talk
for
about
you.
oceanography, talk about chess. Like I have a feeling you just have like this deep blue thing.
That's good.
That is good.
Okay. Heather, you're next.
Oh Lord.
Think about it real quick, Heather. I got to get out of here.
All right, Javier.
Yeah. I've had
Great
a fun
seeing
time.
you.
All right,
It's good
y'all.
seeing you, Javier.
Oh, yeah. My birthday tomorrow, so I'm going to be celebrating
Oh,
that.
shit.
So
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, bro.
Birthday.
Thank you.
Birthday.
thank
And
you.
everyone go check out Javier show. Go
Oh,
do
yeah.
that.
Good,
now and
good,
sub
good.
to it
It's
while
good
you're
talking to you.
All
Have a
right.
good
Y'all have a good
time.
one. All right. You
Later.
too. Later.
I guess I'm gonna have to do TV because I'm running out of stuff.
What does the
What year
input button
Oh,
do?
go ahead. What was it, Jim?
What does the input button do?
The input button changes the input when you have more than one device, your TV. So I can change my input from my TV to my that other puck thing up there that switches over to Hulu and all that stuff. So it changes the input to the back of the TV. It's much like changing if you've got 3 printers attached, you can switch from printer to printer. You can have them all at the same time. It took me a while to learn that too. Thank you.
What year did TVs start rolling out color TVs
Oh my.
to the public for residential use?
Let's see. It was in the I'm going to say the late 50s or the early 60s.
I'll look it up.
What were the colors to the component cable?
How much did it cost for extra colors?
Black, red, and white.
What did they call it?
Oh, heck. The component cable. I don't know.
Wasn't it Technicolor?
No.
No, the component cable is one that has 5 cables that connect in the back. Like you have VGA, which is video, yellow, audio, red, and white. And then you had component cable, which give you a better it was before HDMI or the SD cable.
Mhm.
Was it the coax?
A coax is is another type of cable that connected.
But I remember the cable you're speaking of because I have a box that has miscellaneous cables in it. And when my nephews and my brother go through it, they go, throw this away. Throw this away.
Yeah, it's kind of outdated now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it used to have 5 colors. It was green, blue, red, white, and yellow.
Yellow. Yeah. Jim, what'd you find? Can't hear you.
Oh, shoot. Sorry. Oh,
There
the
you go.
first national color broadcast was the Tournament of Roses parade in 1954.
Mhm.
But what about the first TVs? Like when did
Yeah, when
they
did they
become
start
open to the
rolling
public?
It had to been,
Color TVs.
yeah, if that was the first broadcast, it had to been right around then, right?
Oh yeah,
No
well,
one's gonna-
yes, it would have been broadcast to other people, but but surely they had colored TVs before they had a live broadcast.
I don't
Yeah.
think so. As a kid, all I ever saw was black and white.
How would they transmit color if everybody had black and white TVs?
I guess they transmitted it in color, and you either got it in color if you had a color TV, or otherwise you got it in black and white.
Right.
All right. Let's move to Kendra. She goes,
Oh, I didn't do good on the last one at all. And then I apologize for saying Passion of the Christ. I don't know why the fuck that was my answer. I was like, oh my god, like
This
I
is a
don't know.
good topic. I see what you just
Okay,
pulled up.
coffee. That would be my topic.
What are the two main dominant types of coffee?
Oh, I know there's. I know.
Or I'll
It's
give you
what is
one.
it?
One's Arabica and the other
That's
one
the one I
is
knew. I was
Colombian.
like, it was the how do you say it? Arabica or Arabica?
Arabica, and then
And oh my god. Oh man, that's so messed up. I'm having a bad brain fart, and I'm a
I used to
legit
own a
coffee
shop
master.
and I roast coffee beans.
Ah, I can't believe. Oh man, I just totally dropped the ball.
is it
That's
Sumatran?
messed up. It's Sumatra.
no,
No?
Sumatra's
Robust.
No.
Wait.
It's how did you say that? Robusta, yeah.
Oh man, I feel so stupid. I knew that too. Ah,
How many
Can you
different
name
ways
one-
are there to roast it?
Can you name one Ethiopian coffee? Any Ethiopian?
oh,
That's where coffee
Oh.
started, right? Ethiopia.
Yep. Yep. With the dancing goats.
oh my god.
Kalu, I think, was the herder's name.
Wasn't it like the goat they discovered the goat eating the berry?
Yep.
And they're all like, woo, and had a little pep in
They're
their step.
climbing trees. My favorite
Oh.
Ethiopian is the Yurgachev.
Oh, man. I cannot believe I dropped the ball so bad. Usually I know my coffee's pretty good.
What's the difference between a latte and a cappuccino?
Ooh. Okay. I do know
Just softball.
like the cappuccino, you're gonna aerate the milk more, so you're gonna have more of the froth versus like the latte, you're gonna steam the milk and stuff, but you're still gonna have a majority of like your milk and your coffee with a light froth on top.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, now I want a cup of coffee.
Yeah, actually that sounds really good.
How does Starbucks get it to taste so good? Is it quality? What's more important, quality of the water or the type of machine in the process you're brewing it?
I think it's both.
Or
Like,
the logo on the cup.
Because I mean, you definitely want to have good, clean filtered, like good filtered water. I think our water was like triple filtered water, or some shit. Like it was really hardcore filtered, really good coffee beans, and the machines that we used were amazing. Like they are badass. Like they.
It has to be filtered for the espresso machines because they'll calcify on the inside and really screw everything up.
Yeah.
You have to clean them enough as it is. What is a pea berry?
Oh my gosh, dude! I was even like tested on that. Wait,
Like, what's the difference between like a Kenyan pea berry or like a Kenyan double A? Like, what's the difference between a pea berry and a regular coffee bean?
Holy balls! I don't.
Oh man, I hate that when I have something like right there. Oh man, I haven't thought about that in a long time. Wasn't it like, it might be a stupid answer, but it was like a little tiny bean, wasn't it? Like, fuck, I don't remember. Man, I'm stumped.
The normal beans are two halves of one whole. And like, you know, like you see one side of a coffee bean, it's rounded and the other side's flat and has a little groove. And pea berries are the whole thing without the separation. So it's an entire, it's the entire seed is together.
All right, Tobin.
Okay. Another subject. I'll pick I'll pick art.
Who painted Starry Night?
Starry Night. That's the picture with the person with their hands on their face.
That's
like
the-
this?
that's the-
No, but it's by the
screen.
same person.
Yep.
I want
Starry Night is the one with the
Salvador. Salvador Dali.
Van Gogh.
Yeah. Anyone else?
What is impressionism?
Isn't that the one where you do it by all the little dots and then it comes up? You have the picture.
I don't know if that could be.
Did Jim freeze up?
I
You
think
guys see
he
that?
did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you hear
There
me?
you go.
Or
Yeah, I got you now.
oh, okay. What did you say? I guess I missed that last part.
It's done with little dots. It's paintings done by little dots.
It's done with like smaller strokes. I don't know if it's like it's definitely not just dots, but it's paintings or it's art that's done in a way to accentuate the motion, like so it's not still things. It's things like oceans or people dancing, things like that.
Right on.
What is the oldest piece of art still in existence today?
Oh wow.
I think I know this one.
You know, I'm gonna guess it's some type of statue, some kind of sculpture. I'm not sure.
I was thinking is the Chauvet cave, the cave drawings in the Chauvet cave.
Okay.
I was thinking cave paintings. Let's see. What is the average velocity of an unladen swallow? Okay. Art.
Is it carrying coconuts?
All right.
Oh, he said unladen. Never mind.
Well, we were talking about Van Gogh. Is it his great grandson? Is a. You know anything about Van Gogh's great? Nah, that's kind of obscure. I think he was an atheist, and he's the one that got stabbed in the back in the snow, and they had a note attached to the knife. When they found his body, there was a note on the knife that was stabbed in him, and that's why it was a note of who's gonna. It was Islamic extremists, and it was a list of everyone that who's next, and Ayaan Hirsi Ali was on the list. That's why she's got bodyguards and
Wow.
yeah.
Oh my.
Let's see. Art question, guys. Come on.
Can you name 3 different types of art pencil?
3 different types of art pencil.
Yeah.
I'll throw out a pastel. I don't know if that's really a pencil.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Then you got graphite and
Charcoal.
charcoal. Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Charcoal is actually really fun to play with. I do like playing with that.
Yeah, I do too. But you screw up one time though, and like that's it. Like it's not very forgiving. I like actually. This is my recent one. It's acrylic.
It's
I
going
can't see
weird.
it.
It like the screen is going strange.
The greens.
Oh,
or the,
oh, it's because
There you go.
oh, there you go.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. That's great.
That's cool.
Jim's
go.
muted. You muted, Jim.
Shit.
what kind of work art do you do, Tobin?
Really, I like playing with pastels a lot. I like playing with watercolors.
Most people don't like either of those.
I'll play with Sharpies, but really, I like just about all the different mediums that you can play with.
That's awesome. Yeah, me too. I love art.
Let's see. That was Tobin. Okay, Jim. Next topic.
Oh, geez. Homesteading. I live on a farm, so yeah.
That's cool.
What are the benefits of homesteading?
You gain a greater appreciation for your food and where it comes from. It's really a really rewarding experience, more rewarding than if you were to just, take your debit card and go down to the store and get what you need. It's something that you've put work into, that that it is what it is because of you, not because of something that you just buy. And it's not boring. You never have a boring life. There's always something to do.
I bet.
What's
How
the
many property?
oh, go ahead.
How many pieces of property can you homestead? Tax wise,
yeah, as many as you can, I guess, as many as you can or want. You do hundreds of acres in one spot, or you can possibly, have some in different locations. But most people, when they homestead, it's on one parcel.
yeah.
if you file, go ahead, Tobin.
I'm sorry, it's all right.
If you file, like I filed for a homestead exemption to lower my property taxes, is that the same use of the word homestead? And if so, how much does it lower? And you said you can own more than one homestead, but don't you have to be living on that property to homestead it?
Yes, and it's an agricultural exemption, so you have to. It's not just an exemption just for living on it. You actually have to. Actually has to be contributing to you some way agriculturally, whether it's from plants or animals.
Very nice.
Any other questions for Jim? Homestead, that's a obscure.
Well, yeah, it's more of like a lifestyle, I guess, is what I call it.
Yeah, you don't have to raise like crops or livestock to be a homestead, right?
No.
But to be a homesteader, I mean, that's like homesteading, like in the colloquial sense is, somebody who's self-sufficient, somebody who is living or as self-sufficient as possible.
You have solar panels?
Mm-hmm.
You're completely off the grid, or
No, not completely, but
Yeah.
I will be within a couple of years.
What is it called? The machine that can take water from the air.
A humidifier?
Yeah.
that is one. Yeah, but there's also another that can make you have potable water.
Oh, the method, the old Boy
condensation?
Scout
Yeah.
method by digging a hole and putting a black piece of plastic over it and then a
Condensation?
rock.
Evaporation.
There's actually a machine called an atmospheric generator, and this will. It's basically like a dehumidifier, but it will make it to where it's clean water to where you could actually drink it.
Interesting.
Okay. Oh, me. Let's see. So we're going to each do one more, and that'll put us at 2 hours probably. So let me think.
And Jim, I'm sorry, but
Jim.
I need to drop.
You got to go?
I honestly
I
have to
do.
go
I'm
soon
sorry.
too.
Do you have time to say one more, or you're going to bounce out now?
I can do one more.
I can
Okay.
do one more. Don't
All
know
right,
what
pick
it
a
is,
topic.
but I can do one.
We'll skip me. I'll do the last one. What's your topic, Heather?
Cooking.
Who's the guy on the Food Network who's the most scientific? He breaks everything down by its chemistry, and he's very left brain about cooking. Which famous chef?
Dang, I'd like to know that. Who is that?
Alton Brown? Is that his name?
Yeah, Alton Brown.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look him up. That'd be awesome.
How do you make a roux?
Ooh, good question.
Oh boy.
There's two ways, and I'll accept either one. One's for a light roux, one's for a dark roux. I'll accept either one.
You know,
2 ingredients.
I'm gonna say I'm stumped on that one.
Oil and flour or butter and flour.
Very good. Okay.
And how do you make it dark?
Dark roux is with oil. As oil has a higher flash point.
Okay. Food question. I try to bring these back to atheism, but it's impossible in most cases.
What's the difference between a zucchini and a squash?
Well, one's yellow and one's green.
I think this is a trick question, Heather.
Yeah.
I mean, technically they're both squashes, but I mean, it's
And they both have completely different flavors. So you would think if a squash is a squash and the only difference is color, they would taste the same, but it's not the case.
But there's different types of squashes. Like you got butternut, you have acorn squash,
Yes. And they all taste
spaghetti
different.
squash.
Yeah.
What's the name of that machine? You can put a zucchini in and spin it, and it makes like pasta, and it looks like
Oh.
spaghetti for.
It's a spiral.
Oh, it's a veggetti.
Veggetti. There you go. Veggetti.
Is that really?
Yes.
Yeah, it's
I've
true.
heard-
It's
Those
called
things are
veggetti.
so cool.
I've heard
I call it
spiralizer.
veggetti, but it's it's
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know because that's just me.
veggetti. That's
What
good.
is-
That sounds almost dirty.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's exactly what I was thinking. I thought you said JJ at first. I was like,
You
what?
mean you mean you saying that you just stick a squash in it and spin it around doesn't sound dirty?
Spin it to the right. Spin it to the left.
All right, one more food question, and then Heather's got to bounce.
2 hops is time.
What's the best way to make some ribs?
Oh my.
Yum.
The last time I made ribs was actually the best ribs I'd ever made. So I dry rubbed them. I've made homemade barbecue sauce. I put them in a dark brown Pyrex dish, no lid, no foil, and put them in the oven on 350, I don't know, an hour. Slow cook. Oh my gosh, those were and I only made 2 racks, and I had my son and my nephew here, and my son was like, "Mom, this is all you made?" I was like, "I'm sorry." Yeah, they were so good. I impress myself every once in a while. I say I knock my own socks off, and that was one of those times.
All right, Heather, you got to take off. You don't have content yet. You don't have a YouTube yet, but you planning on it last time I heard, right?
No.
No, damn it.
No.
Kinda.
You can't, I know he keeps nudging me. It's like
I
I'm
know.
just gonna poke the bear a little while longer. She'll
Exactly.
eventually change her mind.
Get a
Yeah.
channel. Get a channel. Okay, it was good seeing you.
It was good seeing all of y'all. Nice to meet you, Tobin and Kendra. And you have a doctor's in front of your name now, Jim. So, yay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It
What's
was
up with
nice
that?
talking
Did
to
you
you.
get a PhD?
Yeah. I successfully defended my dissertation on the 9th of this month.
Woo!
In
That
what?
is a
Awesome.
big woohoo.
Hebrew Bible.
Jeez, man, that is hardcore. We need more of those.
Absolutely.
Uh,
Look
you
forward
people-
to seeing y'all again in the future. Y'all have a great weekend.
You too,
Likewise, have a
Heather.
good
Take
one.
care.
Bye bye.
Okay, let's see. Kendra, last topic.
Chocolate.
What's the original Aztec word for chocolate? How is it pronounced?
Oh. I don't know.
It's not cacao. It's
It was chocolatl.
yeah.
I say
Oh,
chocolate
this is
or
weird.
some shit.
Yeah. Yep. What else? Chocolate. Let's see. How much
That's
sugar
also
do you? How much sugar do you have to take out of chocolate? Like, what's the percentage? The maximum percentage of sugar in the chocolate to make it baking chocolate? How much cacao?
Ooh. Damn, you're actually coming up with some damn good questions. Fuck. Oh,
Isn't it 2%? Isn't that the max?
I don't even know the answer.
that was a good question though.
Like, if you bought 40% cacao, I'm sorry, 60% cacao, and you ate it like a candy bar, you wouldn't like it. It would be a little bitter. I think
I did that one
60%.
time. I found
Yes.
out the hard way. It was horrible.
I like 80. Like 80 is a little bitter too, but I mean it's I don't like a whole lot of sugar in my chocolate. I like dark chocolate.
That's
80
my
is
favorite.
most
I
people
love
cook
dark
with.
chocolate.
Yeah.
What is the acceptable amount of bug matter in a chocolate bar according to the FDA?
I don't know. That's a good question too.
Oh.
I'm really curious though.
It's less than 60 insect pieces per 100 grams.
Jeez.
not too bad.
That's messed up. There's a
Yeah,
Which is
question
like
from
two chocolate bars. So within one chocolate bar, the FDA says that you have to have less than 30 insect pieces in it.
What? That's
Apparently, it's really hard to get chocolate that doesn't have like roaches in it, or
oh, that's so wrong.
yeah,
What?
or rat poop, or
rat droppings. Yeah, I've heard that. That's goddamn.
human hair.
That's egregious.
Man, I need to make my own chocolate.
With your
Homesteading.
own,
Dude, that is my goal.
Chocolate
Be
trees.
totally self-sustainable, and chocolate will be a part of it. Like, man.
try this, guys. My poop and hair is better than your poop and hair.
Okay, this is a tough subject.
How many pyramids are there in a standard Toblerone bar?
Ooh. 3? Wait.
I have no idea. I'm thinking 6, but
I don't know,
I'm
but they're good though. Like, I like
Yeah,
those.
yeah, they
Those are really good,
The-
actually.
The triangle shaped long. I thought it was all one piece. It's in segments.
Yeah, it breaks up into little smaller triangles.
Oh shit.
So good.
Okay, I got a picture. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Why is there
Way
9?
off.
That's such a weird freaking number.
It
It's like,
is.
you want half of this? Sorry.
Hidden Kendra with the obscure chocolate questions.
Wait, what is the difference between dark chocolate and white? Wasn't white chocolate like
Yeah.
a shit,
Well,
like a
one's white.
wax or something, or it's not really chocolate. It's
Carnauba wax.
is that what it's called?
think
Is that what it is?
Right.
That's what you
It's
do
like a
your
wax, isn't
surfboards
it?
with. There's an edible kind
Oh.
of wax.
Like it's a
Paraffin.
wax instead.
It has more milk, like a higher milk content.
But what
I don't
makes
know if
dark
that's what makes it
chocolate
white.
dark though?
Huh?
What makes dark chocolate dark? Well, I know it's supposed to be my question, but I don't know the answer.
The
What would
chocolate
make-
itself,
It's just like the actual like chocolate itself is what makes it.
Yeah, I would think that dark chocolate is just like more pure chocolate,
It's
and then
delicious.
the more
Except for all the
you
roaches in
add-
it.
right.
Oh, man, damn. Every time I eat fucking chocolate now, I'm be thinking about that.
Somebody messed this up with
Ah.
on Neil's channel.
Oh,
We
yeah.
were watching one night, and I actually really like vanilla. I drink vanilla soda and whatnot, and I think it was Quiet Gorilla. He
Yeah.
spouted out some facts about vanilla and where it comes from, and that they can take a beaver gland
From that,
from the,
like anus
the-
glands, or
yeah.
some shit, yeah.
and that's how they got the taste.
And I was
of
eating vanilla, while
Yeah.
he was talking about it.
I'm like, oh,
I was
did
like,
not need to know
bullshit.
that.
I was like,
Isn't
no
it like
way.
a mink anus extract or something like that?
Yeah, it's like some anal glands from beavers or some shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the artificial is it artificial hazelnut maybe, or
I hope there's nothing wrong with hazelnut. I like
I
hazelnut.
don't know. Yeah, Nutella would forever be gone. But apparently, white chocolate says that it's made from cocoa butter instead of the cacao pods.
Ah, okay. I know Madagascar has a lot of. They're a big exporter of vanilla, and I've heard that as soon as you land, you get off the airplane in Madagascar, the whole island smells like vanilla, which would be kind of cool.
And roaches.
And right. Let's see, Tobin, your last subject.
Okay, one more subject. One more subject. All right.
Well, I'll give you time to think about that. You know what, Jim? You've already done your last one. I forgot to plug your channel now. You don't do Disciple of Kairos anymore, right? Is that channel just archived now?
No, it's the same channel. I just changed the name because I had changed it to try and come up with something creative, but then turns out that nobody knows how to spell it. So it became like a difficulty, and everybody's like, "Well, why don't you just go by Jim Majors? That's what you've always gone by." And I was like, "Oh, well, why don't I just do that?" And so
That's right.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm still at youtube.com/Jim Majors.
There you go for everybody. So sub to that one. All right,
Mhm.
Tobin.
I'm gonna go with Chevrolet trucks. How about that?
What's the difference between a K1500 and a C1500?
You got me there. I'm not exactly sure.
The K1500 is four-wheel drive capable.
Oh, okay. Right on.
What does the K and C stand for? It's just arbitrary.
It's just C model and K model. I don't know what they stand for anything. There's different packages, like different. Yeah. I don't know.
There was a button on the floorboard in the 70s and earlier. It was over by the clutch. It was on the far left. It was a little silver button on the floorboard that you could push it or unpush it.
Yep.
What was that for?
The
How
kill
about my
switch.
61 step side?
No, not a kill switch.
No, it's a dimmer switch.
Yeah, it was for your headlights to make them bright or dim. It was on the floorboard. You just
And
smashed
wasn't
it
like
with
a
your
button.
foot.
It was like something that was like a pow, like it was aggressive. It was a very aggressive button.
Kids will never know.
They'll never know the joy of putting it in neutral, pumping the gas, turning the key off, and turning it back on, and watching somebody get the living shit scared out of them. I had a 61 step side, and I can make it backfire by doing that. I turn it off, take it out of gear, pump the gas while I'm still driving, and start it back up, and it pow.
What was the last year that Chevrolet won the Indianapolis 500?
They did.
I don't even know. They had to have at some point.
The Indianapolis is like Italian cars or something.
I'll look it up real quick.
The Indianapolis. Yeah, isn't that
You're
with
talking about the pace truck?
the Indy cars? Isn't that done with the very low sitting Indy cars? I don't know. I'm not sure.
If you want to be a Bala shot collie, you want to put 20-inch blades on what?
An Impala.
That's right.
Oh, I didn't know that. The good one, Tobin. It says here the last time Chevy won the Indy 500 was their 23rd win back in 2018.
What vehicle? Chevy what?
NRH. Wait,
The Monte Carlo or?
manufacturer title. It doesn't say V8 racing engine. It doesn't say the type of car.
Huh.
2018.
Interesting.
All right. And we'll end with me. Let me think. Oh, what was I going to do? Jim's all over Bible stuff. So I'll just go with, I'll go with
scared.
unarmed combat. I'll go with martial arts.
Okay. The ISF, what form of hand-to-hand combat do they train in primarily?
ISKA
ISF.
used to, yeah, the ISKA used to be the International Sport Karate Association. So I don't know the ISF. Maybe it's it evolved.
Israeli Special Forces.
Oh, what was it?
Israeli Special Forces.
ISF. And what martial art
Yeah,
do they
what
practice?
martial art do they train primarily for hand-to-hand
It's
combat?
Krav Maga.
That's it.
Yep. Which is a badass martial art. Not as
It
good
is.
as Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but it's pretty badass.
I think they complement each other.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, if you knew both, yeah, you'd be a better fighter.
I
What
know
else?
both. I'm a higher belt in BJJ than I am in Krav Maga.
You have what belt are you in BJJ?
Purple.
Is that higher than blue? No, that's under blue, right?
Yeah. I'm not a badass by any means. I enjoy
No.
it. I like rolling
Having
around.
any color on your belt in BJJ, because for those of you that don't know, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is not one of those belt factories like most Taekwondo and karate studios where you're just going to automatically progress no matter what, no matter how good you are. You can go your entire lifetime and never put on a blue belt in BJJ.
So I
It
trained
can take you
with
20 years.
with Gracie's Texas Punishment Crew.
Okay, I'm officially intimidated by you now. Damn it.
No, don't be.
That's a great system. That's the best system, I think. And I don't have
Really
any
enjoy it.
belts in it. All right, what else?
What are two joint locks from the half guard position?
Half guard?
Mm-hmm.
No, not a side mount. So he's got one of my legs in between his legs, right?
Like, what are two possible joint locks? Whether you're on the bottom or top.
Half guard. So you're on your back.
Half guard.
Yeah, you're on your back. Okay. You could go for a collar choke because you're face to face. So the first thing I'm thinking is a collar
If
choke.
you have a gi.
Yeah, true. Or let's say you could do a Kimura or a bent arm bar from the half guard. It's just that it'd be easy for him to slip out of it. So I'd say a Kimura or a bent arm bar. It's better when you're on top though. Someone's going to take that out of context.
If you
shit.
say so.
I'm glad Math Pig is in here. He takes all sexual references and he compiles it into like little clips. All right. One more question and then we'll wrap this up.
What's a Kimura?
A Kimura, you're in the full guard. Your one leg is posted. It's basically, if this were a bent armbar, like I'm the one getting it done on the meat puppet. If this were a bent armbar, a Kimura is the other way. So your hand's going this way. And usually you're on the victim's on his side, the meat puppet, and then you're basically right on top of him and you're cranking it backwards.
Right. Or he can be on his back. He can be on both shoulder blades and you can still put the Kimura in laying over him.
Yep. All right, guys. I think this went well. We're approaching 2 hours.
Sorry, I talked so
Frustrated
much.
atheist. What was it?
Sorry, I talked so much.
No, man. You didn't at all. Frustrated atheist was supposed to come in. He kept sending me messages. He's running late. Maybe we'll catch him next time, probably. All right. So just final thoughts. And if you want to plug your shit again, we'll start with Jim.
Yeah, I appreciate your subscription. I do anti-apologetics. I do, of course, biblical scholarship. I do debates. I've done hundreds of debates with many high-profile people, some of which are on my channel. It's youtube.com/Jim Majors. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm on there pretty frequently. My handle is @TheJimMajors.
Awesome. Kendra, do you have your own content yet?
Not yet. Like I have my Facebook page and I'm on Twitter, but I'm not yet. But Tobin's doing a music project and I'm gonna be playing the bass for him in it. So I'll get to do some stuff soon. So I'm excited. I want to. Like I definitely would like to start something. That would be awesome.
What are you guys doing?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, what are you guys doing? Like an album or what?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
awesome.
Tobin has stuff up on his channel that he had already played with, and it was just him sitting there with his guitar jamming out, and it was an album called Truth Claims, and so I was going to play the bass for him on it. Yeah,
it's just me and my acoustic guitar and my voice, and I basically made up these songs in a week. I would just have my concept for lyrics, and I would think up the lyrics and make my guitar parts and then put them together and play them at the end of the week. And that's what is up on my channel right now.
That's great. The community needs more atheist musicians. All I can think of, not even one hand worth. Tim Minchin, Shelley Siegel, there may be a couple others. That's it. And we need more.
What is your channel name? Is it Tobin Templeman?
Yes, it's just my name. As in right there, you can pop that into YouTube, and it pretty much goes right to me.
Like a fake ass name. I'm just gonna say.
Let me type it in the live chat just so everyone knows how it's spelled. There we go.
That sounds like a fake name for sure.
Stage name.
For sure. That's
Templeman. Yeah.
That's a running from the government name right there.
Okay. Do you have anything upcoming besides that, Tobin? Or anything besides your YouTube channel you want to plug?
Not at the moment. We're working on taking these songs from an acoustic version, and I'm going to play the drums to them. I'm going to take more time actually miking up and recording them. So, I'm just working on getting that space available so we can be able to make progress.
Awesome. All right. As far as we go, Courtney has said she couldn't make it. She's she's started her master's program, and she's planning a wedding. I think it's in October or September, some time frame. So she's got a lot going on. So she'll be back on the show. Don't fear. And upcoming stuff, we're right in the middle of that Richard Carrier Critical Thinking in the 20th Century course that I took. And so it's going to be like a 6 or 7 part series. So after that, myself and a super fan of the show are researching parallels. You'd like this, Jim, parallels between the book of Jonah and the older Jason and the Argonauts myth, primarily the Argonautica, and how whoever wrote the book of Jonah was a complete plagiarist. And so that's going to be a cool series.
Yeah, you're going to want to look into Matthew as well.
Okay. Yeah, New Testament stuff too. Yeah. Yeah, well, I don't want to bite off more than I can chew. I want to keep it just specific. I was thinking all the parallels between all Greek myths and then the newer scripture, but that's too much to bite on.
No, I'm talking strictly just Jason and the Argonauts.
Oh, the parallels with it in Matthew.
Yep.
Okay, I'll remember that. After that, let's see, November 18th to 20th. Courtney and I will be at I think it's 18th to 20th. You can check me on that. Courtney and I will be at the Faithless Forum 3 in Austin, and we've got tons of merch, stickers and keychains and stuff. And we're going to be recording like little short clips and little fun stuff like this game and we'll be doing that in the hallways and out and about. So if you see us, stop by and say hello. And that is it. I am so surprised that there was no technical issues with this. This is the first time we've gone live in over 2 years, closer to 3. So I just suspected technical issues. Everything went really smoothly, surprisingly, and that is totally thanks to MathPig. MathPig helped me a lot getting everything ready, and really StreamYards. It was intimidating, but it's not as hard as I thought it was going to be. But so we're going to make this a regular thing now. Some live stuff, mix it up. Maybe some informal debates. I'm thinking about informal debates too.
Heck yeah.
Okay, that'll do it. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, bud.